Hi everyone, I'm making this video today to give you my process for rehearsal. It's something I developed over time and it works really well for me. There's no one correct way to practice to rehearse, so you can figure out what works for you. I just wanted to offer this to you in case you're having a hard time getting started. This will give you a little nudge. The main thing though is that however you do it, it's important that you do practice. It's important that you spend a significant amount of time practicing because the more you practice, the more you're going to hear what you're saying. And when you hear something that's a little bit off, you're going to go back and edit it. And then as you go through it, you're going to perfect your writing. Once your writing is perfect, then you can start working on the performance aspects of your speech, the body language, the emphasis on important words, the pauses that you make to give people a chance to really hear what you're saying. So you want to take this time. This is such an important part of the entire speech making process that you don't want to short shrift it. Practice your speech 10, 15 or more times so that you can really make it great. So here's my process. First, I write it on a page with a pen. I just get all my ideas down, brainstorm. It may look like a big mess. But then I type it into the computer and I always put it into this kind of form, or I shouldn't say always, but most of the time, put it into this kind of a form. An introduction, and then 3 body paragraphs. I'll move myself over here. And then a conclusion. Then once I get it typed in like that, well, you'll notice that I double space. And I do this on purpose that I have room to go back and edit later as I'm practicing. I also make the font rather large, maybe like an 18 to 24 point, and that way it doesn't slow me down when I'm rehearsing. Everything is pretty easy to see and I can keep my place. So the next thing I do, I will print it out. I print it out usually on scrap paper so that I don't feel guilty when I have to reprint the different iterations, because I might do this 3 to 6 times. Then once it's printed out, I turn on my stopwatch and I read through the entire speech at the pace that I plan to present it at. So I'm not reading fast to get it done sooner. No, this is my first run through. And then when I'm finished, I check my time and I compare it to the assignment. Was the assignment 4 to 6 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes? And I go back and I make sure that I'm well within my time. Now, if I'm under, that's fine. I can go back now and add a story or an example or some details, and that's fantastic. If I'm over, that's also a lot of fun because now I get to go back and find the places in my speech where I can take out extraneous information that's not necessary. So the whole process makes your speech much stronger. Okay, the next thing I do once I have my baseline time is I go through and I practice things in chunks. I'm not going to read it all the way through again. I'm not going to try to practice it all the way through again. I don't know about you, but my memory can't handle that. I like to do the intro, and then I'll do the first body paragraph. And each time I do a chunk, I'll write down how much time it takes me. And if I'm over time, then I start looking at areas within each of those chunks that I can take out to make the time limits work. Okay, the next thing I want you to understand is that while this is happening, as you're practicing this multiple times, you're hearing yourself. You're hearing your speech, and I hope this happens for you like it happens for me, but when I'm actually saying something out loud, it hits different. I think, oh, that sounds horrible, or that doesn't fit here, or this is too much. And so I can go back and edit it. Something about hearing it out loud makes you recognize what's working and what isn't working. And without this practice, you won't really experience your speech in the same way, and you certainly won't experience it the same way that your audience will experience it. All right, it looks like I'm just about out of time, so I just want to encourage you, please practice your speech as much as you can, and I'll see you Monday.